Let's face it, everyone has a favorite show that they secretly wish had ended after one season. While sitcoms like The Office and Park and Recreation were able to bounce back after terrible first seasons, others have struggled to recapture the excitement after getting off to a fast start. Allow me to show you in this video the top 10 TV shows that fell apart after a great first season. Number 10, 24. 24 is a Fox television action drama series produced by Joel Surnow and Robert Cochran. Kiefer Sutherland plays counter-terrorist agent Jack Bauer. In the series, using the real-time technique of narration, each season covers 24 consecutive hours in Bauer's life. Each episode contains multiple interconnected narratives, many of which involve Bauer's contacts in risky situations. In terms of the television's gimmicks, 24's real-time storytelling and narration is one of the best in the medium's history. The gimmick became an award-winning action drama thanks to top-notch acting and genuine talent behind the camera. Despite the fact that the series never fully jumped the shark, the gimmick ultimately proved to be its worst enemy. 24 had the same dilemma that any serialized from the media has, except amplified. How do you keep bringing drama from the same characters without it becoming stale? In the case of 24, Live Another Day, this was exasperated by the necessity of adhering to real-time storytelling, which kept Jack Bauer in increasingly dangerous situations as the series progressed. Number 9, The Handmaid's Tale. The Handmaid's Tale, an unflinching version of Margaret Atwood's dystopian novel, was a hit for Hulu in 2017. It was an instant hit with its critics, earning a slew of Emmy nominations. Hulu's entrance as a major player in the original programming was indicated by the show's success. While the first season excelled by keeping to the source material storyline, the show's production team struggled to turn the 311-page novel into a series with hundreds of episodes. Alison Shoemaker of the AV Club noted in her review of the season 3 finale how the episode became increasingly meandering as it progressed. Number 8, Westworld. Westworld's first season featured the kind of prestige programming HBO is known for: a large budget, big-name performers, and excellent script. Jonah Nolan and Lisa Joy's dystopian sci-fi mystery drama had a hesitant start, but it paid off with a convoluted storyline that spurred into conjecture in the same manner that series like Lost and Done in the past. The puzzle box aspect that seemed to drive so much of the first season's popularity were emphasized even more in the second and third seasons, albeit and decreasing rewards. When later on prompts pieces like why Westworld Season 2 isn't really working, Westworld's ending was awful, but its howl criticism was downright obnoxious. Westworld's finale was horrible, but its empty cynicism was plain obnoxious. Number 7, Homeland. Homeland, based on the Israel series Prisoners of War, launched in 2011 to great acclaim and was whopping 6 Emmy honors in the first season. Homeland, which starred Claire Danes as CIA officer Carrie Matheson, earned Showtime's the kind of prestige normally reserved for premium cable competitor HBO. Because so much drama was focused around whether sleeper agent Nicholas Brody would be successful in carrying out the terrorist attack against his home country, the show was built on an unsustainable premise. Fans and critics alike were outraged when the show attempted to flesh out his narrative and even turned him into a tragic hero. Homeland would go on to be a favorite target of entertainment journalists all over the world, with headlines like, "Has any program ever went to bed quite as hard as Homeland?" How Homeland went from shocking television to one gigantic shrug, and Homeland is a definition of poor television. It's evident that the gripping drama eventually lost everything that made it great. Number 6, House of Cards. House of Cards teamed up with Orange is the New Black to show Netflix has the potential to be a big force in television production. House of Cards was the first streaming drama to receive big Emmy nominations, and while the BBC miniseries of the same name only lasted 4 episodes, its American version would go on to generate a whopping 73. Critics would eventually revisit the series, questioning whether it was ever that excellent in the first place. After the first 4 seasons premiered, Emily Yar of Washington Post looked back at the previous seasons and wondered if everyone had been fooled by the excellent production values and Hollywood A-listers. While the first season attempted to wink and nod at the audience with its bizarre stories, the second season went off the rails and abandoned all pretenses of self-awareness while doubling down on the insane. Number 5, Prison Break. When it comes down to a show like Prison Break, it's evident that the idea can only survive so long. Jailbreak, which revolved around a brother plotting a prison break to free his innocent sibling, fell into difficulty in later seasons because, well, you can only escape prison so many times before diminishing returns. Some say that you could only do anything like that once. Surprisingly, the show's creator, Paul T. Sherling, stated that his original plan for the show was for it only to run for one season, but the network insisted on more. In 2017, he told Digital Spy, the basic intention was to escape midway through the 22nd episode run and then wrap it all up by a conclusion of 22. However, I can treble that, I added. I can have them flee at the end of the season, one of finish things up at the conclusion of season 2. It also didn't conclude with the second season. It lasted 5 seasons. Number 4, True Detective. True Detective is a wonderful illustration of what a show should just cut its losses and leave. True Detective's dark and elegant first season was a blockbuster for HBO, garnering multiple Emmy nominations and wins while redeeming everyone that Matthew McConaughey can act when he wants to. HBO, however, was not about to let the success go to waste, and a second season was ordered. The second season of True Detective was eagerly anticipated, with a star-studded ensemble that includes Rachel McAdams, Colin Farrell, and Vince Vaughn. It was regarded as one of the worst television shows of the year by the end of the second season. While the third season, featuring Mahershala Ali, was an improvement, it still fell short from season 1's lightning in a bottle. Number 3, Glee. Glee back in the Hell Clone days of 2009 was unlike anything else on American television at the time. Ryan Murphy's first mainstream smash was seemingly unavoidable at the time, thanks to its fascinating characters, great music, and genuine drama. The show's soundtrack consistently topped iTunes rankings with singles or compilations were released. In addition to the weekly viewers, Glee, on the other hand, would be undone by its own success. The first season that was most well received, at the show's many songs became the clear focus in order to boost digital sales. An undeserved melodrama became the standard. Later seasons would help to redeem the series following the creative void of the middle seasons. But real Gleeks would always remember the first 22 episodes. Number 2, 13 Reasons Why. When the first season of 13 Reasons Why premiered on Netflix in 2017, it was fairly well received, adapted of the YA novel of the same name, and it was one of the cleanest examples of a show that should have stopped after one season. The following 3 seasons were all critically panned, making you wonder why they kept continuing in the first place. The sitcom appeared to run out of ideas that lived up to the basic story of the first season when the source of material dried up. While the first season of episodes sparked a lot of debate at the time, no one questioned why it was made in the first place. The controversy had returned during the second season, but the show was no longer the smash hit had once been. Number 1, Riverdale. Riverdale, the CW, turned a premiere that had never worked Archie's Comics plus Twin Peaks into one year's most surprising television sensations. Riverdale recreated the iconic and wholesome adolescence characters who've been around for over a century as teen soap stars. Riverdale was a great blend of high school soap opera, neo-lit, neo-noir, and old-school comic book throwback in its first season. Then things started to get strange. Seriously, some of the things that emerged in Riverdale sounded like something Stefan might say on a Saturday Night Live as he played Bill Hader. It has bear attacks on the underground prison boxing ring, cults, and the music episode based on Carrie Fisher. The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, a dark horror comedy about a half-witch, half-mortal, seems tame in comparison to Riverdale. What do you think deserves another season? Let us know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching. See you again in the next video.